John with HealthBridge Global. I'm back with a part 2 update of our land purchase for Life Medical Center in Romania. Last time I gave you an update on what happened, and now I want to tell a story about what happened at the actual signing of the paperwork for the land purchase. We have some very good friends that we've known since we were 16 years old. Becca and I have known them since we were in high school. Pastor Tim and Dana Wimberly. Many of our supporters know them as well. They actually live in Romania now. So about 4 weeks ago, when Dr. David and his team at ProVita signed the final paperwork for the land purchase, I asked Tim and Dana to please go and take some photos for us to kind of capture that moment, since I couldn't be there myself. And I am so glad I did, because Tim captured some amazing photos, a little bit of video, and he just relayed to me the atmosphere and a few stories that came out of that signing, and I want to share briefly with you. All signing for big purchases, land, building, big transactions, all have to happen at a notary office in Romania. Now, no offense to U.S. notaries, but a notary in Romania is at a totally different level. It's like a lawyer, an accountant, a real estate agent, all wrapped up into one. So these are smart, intelligent, busy, powerful, important people.
Problema este că pe domnul Daniel numai dacă trecem în contractul celălalt.
While David was there signing the paperwork, the notary called him aside, and she said to him, "I know who you are, and I know what you do in our community for women, and I just want to say thank you. I'm extremely grateful. In fact, ProVita has had an impact on my own life." And then she proceeded to significantly discount the transaction fees for the ministry. And then, as if that wasn't enough, she and her colleagues decided that they were going to make the first contribution towards construction for Life Medical Center. So just an unbelievable display of both generosity, but what I really take away from that is the solid reputation that ProVita has built in their community for over 20 years, caring for women, demonstrating the gospel to people. The people who work at ProVita and Dr. David, they're Christians, they're pro-life, they're evangelical, but they haven't gotten written off as those crazy Christian, conservative, anti-choice people, because they've served their community, they've served women, and they've gone above and beyond. They have earned their reputation as people who care more for women than anybody else in their community, and it shows, and it's bearing fruit. And I hope that encourages you as much as it encourages me. I'm not a crier, but when Pastor Tim relayed that story to me, I was real close, just because it touched my heart. So I just wanted to pass that along to you. I think it's significant. I hope that you can sense the significance of what's transpired as much as I do. You, many of you, donors and partners with us, have played a significant role in this. I've said it before, but I think it's hard to say too often. Thank you. The other thing I want to do is I want to give you an update on what's next. There's no pretty way to put this, but we do have to continue raising funds for construction and for equipment. But there's multiple pieces of good news and encouraging news here, and I want to walk through a couple with you. Number one, it's way easier to raise money for construction when you own the land outright, which we do. We paid cash for it, no debt. It's our land. It's got our name on it. We can build on it. No restrictions. Number two, we took a really hard look at our budget. We cut out a few kind of ancillary services. We just took a knife to anything that we knew we could live without to start with, and the new location and the land that we're building on reduces our building expenses. So we've been able to get our total construction budget down from $6.5 million to $4.5 million. That is still a bargain for what we're going to build. It would cost 20 times at a minimum to build the same thing here in the United States. Number three, The Romanians have committed to raise $1 million of that $4.5 million, meaning in the United States, we only, I know that's a strange word for $3.5 million, but we only need to raise $3.5 million. Number 4, we already have between 3 and 4% of that pledged, and we haven't really even started officially raising money for the next phase. So God has already started to bring some partnerships. And lastly, we saw God do a miracle with the land. Why would we expect anything less with construction and equipping the hospital? This work in Romania, the work of caring for women in the name of Jesus, in the midst of an abortion epidemic and a maternity care crisis, is good work, worthy of the name of Jesus, and therefore worthy of our sacrifices and devotion. I say that with all humility and yet with boldness, because each of us who is close to this project, both the board here in the U.S. and the board in Romania, as well as many of our financial partners and many faithful monthly givers, have all made significant sacrifices to help get us where we are today. And yet, there's work to be done. I make no apologies, and frankly, I'm not ashamed about the fact that we do have to raise more money for construction right now. The work our friends and partners in Romania are doing is good work, gospel work, faithful work, and it's really well executed. It's a privilege for us to work with them, and we need help. For those of you who have been faithful monthly partners, thank you. Please consider continuing your support and inviting others who are like-minded to join you. For those of you that have helped in the past, please consider starting again, whether that's with a one-time donation or jumping on as a monthly partner with us. I would simply ask all of you to prayerfully consider getting involved in this worthy project. You won't be alone. To do so, you can visit our website, or you can mail a check to the address on the screen. Lastly, I want to share a verse with you that has been tremendously encouraging to me, becoming almost an anthem for me in the last couple of weeks. It's from 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58, and I'm going to read it from the Message. With all this going for us, my dear friends, stand your ground and don't hold back. Throw yourselves into the work of the Master, confident that nothing you do for him is a waste of time or effort. I hope that's as encouraging to you as it is to me. Thanks again to each one of you. Talk to you soon.